People often wonder, how do I create impact? Some kills seem to have a large impact on a round, while some kills don't seem to mean too much. I'm on a quest to hit 1000 RR this act, and that's a question I constantly assess as well. So in this video, we're going to change up our style and try to break that down. What's up guys, it's royalG, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different and VOD review some rounds of a game I played recently that I feel like could help a lot of people get an idea of impact in a game. So what I'm going to do is try to break down potential outcomes and variations that could play out depending on how a certain fight is won or lost, and connect that to the outcome of the rounds. With that being said, I think this is really helpful for anyone trying to connect their own plays and decision making to the outcome of the game. So let me know if this helps, and let's jump in. As always, we have a little scavenger hunt prepared for this video, so there's 3 1000 VP codes hidden throughout. This is a pretty long video, so good luck and hope you enjoy. Also, if you do enjoy this type of content or are looking for better ways to improve your gameplay this act, I want to introduce to you guys gosu Academy, the perfect environment for growing as a Valorant player. Not only does their Valorant Academy have amazing theory and VOD review classes taught by professional coaches, you can also play and learn with passionate and improvement-oriented players in their weekly rank-based 10-mans. What's even more, gosu Academy takes things a step further by also regularly inviting coaches from franchise teams to give exclusive guest lectures every month, which means you're guaranteed to have the opportunity to learn from the literal best the industry has to offer. In fact, you might even find me guest lecturing classes sometimes. Now, if that didn't already convince you to give gosu Academy a try, they wanted to help me help you guys by giving an amazing offer. If you use the sign up with the link in the description, you can not only gain access to everything I just mentioned, you can get it for 30 days completely free. That's 30 days of coaching from top pros, so don't hesitate, sign up today with the link in the description, and thank you gosu Academy for sponsoring this video.
That's what I'm saying. I don't play this game.
They stunned ramp.
Yeah, one's crossed. Raise crossed.
I'm nade. I can nade it and shoot.
One's out, one's out.
Suck it.
Suck it.
Sucked it. Oh no, I'm getting needed ramps.
One's off
Guy
round.
ramp. Going B. They're gonna put the B.
Okay.
One could be up small. Peekaboo. Wait, they could go back.
Hit him for
Well,
55.
good bomb.
Yeah, you got Spike, and one's hit 55. Killjoy has hit 55. You guys could probably wait until the oh, never mind. They already know.
Wow.
Wow,
Wait,
you got one. That was big.
hold main. He has to run to us. Hold main.
Yeah.
Hold it.
He's hit 55.
Oh, he might just leave.
It's possible too.
I just play 2v2. It doesn't matter.
I have 0.
I'm satcheling out.
He has to go.
Ow. Motherfucker slowed me down.
You guys probably have to defuse sometime soon. It's very possible you guys have to start defusing soon. Nice, yeah.
What's that smoke? It just gives him a place
yeah,
to
it
play
gives him a
around,
place,
eh?
yeah. That was not that great.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, basically, I'm just taking a shot and teleporting out in this situation. It's kind of just like to be safe. So like right here, right? When I get that kill on Omen, even though it's like pretty like lucky and like maybe high impact, it doesn't really actually mean too much on how the round is going to turn out. Like these are kind of the kills where you can kind of say like, oh, this is generally a good kill. I can't really draw a direct line of like whether this kill actually creates a high impact or not. So these kills are usually the ones you wouldn't really look towards. But something like this fight right here, so this is basically like 10 seconds later, I take this fight with this killjoy, right? I hit him one time in the chest, end up dying. I feel like I should have won that fight. I probably like played it badly, and he also hit his shot. But basically, you're gonna kind of see like just why this fight right here could have been a very high impact kill during the round. Also that kill right there, like Sky should not be getting that kill, but the fact that he does get that kill actually kind of makes it so that my duel with that killjoy was not as impactful as it could have been. Essentially, he gets traded out. It's a 2v1. They're playing together. They're going to go for a gamble so that if the killjoy rotates to a different site, then they can retake together. But let's jump to the retake itself. So in this situation, they go to the other site, right? The time is ticking down because they gambled A. When they both get onto site right here, first of all, this smoke is really bad, which is a misplay from our Astra. But the other thing you also want to notice is that in this situation, there's actually a decent chance for this killjoy, assuming he hits another shot, to potentially just win this round outright. The spike is already ticking down a little bit, and also both players are split. you can kind of say it's like bad play on our part, but this is a high rank lobby, and like these kind of things don't always like happen as perfectly as they should be. So the value of like that duel with Killjoy, in my case, could have actually been the difference in this round's outcome. You know, if I won that fight in the first place, then this whole situation would have been gone anyways. If I didn't win that fight and then the Killjoy won the fight against Astra potentially, which was to like win one more duel, this round could have been like thrown completely, because first of all, Raze wouldn't have been able to trade, and also at the same time, the Killjoy has a smoke to play around that could potentially make a lot of randomness happen. So we head to the next round. I do a TP out, like basically I don't want to waste a bullet right here. Nothing much is happening. Our teammates are dying on the other side of the map, but like this is the part where another situation where me hitting a shot could have led to something more. Unfortunately, you're about to see what happens. I'm sad. I'm sad. Oh. Yeah, that was a bit of a bad one. Yeah, so I kind of like whiffed that completely. I think whiffing that completely, although like technically speaking, this wasn't really going to change the outcome of the round, right? Like it's a 2v4, and like me killing that person might not have made like a huge difference in how the round outcome is. Basically, that kill could have opened up this potential for a round to play out, because our Sky flanks towards B main right here. And, you know, technically you could say that like maybe the way that they play is going to be slightly different because of this, but he ends up getting a kill. So we could have potentially had a 2v2 situation, or it could have been that, you know, I would have been able to get a lot of damage on the enemy team. Regardless though, that shot could have some sort of impact. Although technically it didn't have a lot of impact in that situation, me whiffing it doesn't actually change things too much. That opens up the room for something more. So in that situation, hitting that shot is still better than obviously not hitting that shot. Also the mental damage I incurred from my duo laughing at me, so. He's on top ramp. Top ramp.
120 on Omen. 120 on Omen. Omen's 120.
Can you flash through? Can you flash through heaven?
No, I got time.
Okay, so in this situation, basically the other team took A main early, and also we fought them at A main early. We traded 1-for-1 and then ended up backing up, but we knew that this Raze crossed onto A main and also could have been on top ramp, pushed potentially into ropes. So we're kind of scared of heaven right now. This position is very dangerous. I'm kind of poking around, like trying to find this Raze and prevent him from like getting too much space, or also taking a fight and like relieving that pressure. Meanwhile, the Breach ulted onto site and killed our Sky, which is technically worth it for him. And then I swing out and kill him. And the reason that fight right there has a lot of impact is because Breach actually had Spike. So me killing him right there, first of all, makes it so that he can't plant the Spike immediately, which means we're delaying the Spike plant time. At the same time, Astra actually kills the Raze in ropes, which is a huge kill as well, because now that he's killed Heaven, and we've also killed the person on site who was going to plant the Spike, two things happen, right? First of all, we've cleared off all the pressure on Heaven that were immediately kind of like causing us to be scared of that area. And the second thing is also like the remaining two players most likely will have to move towards site now in order to pick up the Spike and plant the bomb. So we've stalled a lot of time, relieved pressure, and have given ourselves a lot of time to regroup as a team. And by regrouping as a team in that situation, we have a much better chance of retaking, first of all. And also, we don't have to deal with like very, very scary like deep positions, because, well, since Spike is not planted, it's much more likely that the last two players on the enemy team have to go together onto site to retake the Spike, then plant the Spike, and at that point we're going to be close enough so that they can't do any risky repositions without potentially just running into us taking a duel with them, right? So in that situation, me getting this kill on the guy on site, and then also my Astra killing that Raze, completely shifts around, regains a ton of positioning, and like basically wins us the round off of that sort of like pressure itself. So as you can see, like, you know, later on this round resolves out in that way. Both of them are stuck on site. We're coming in from like a bunch of different angles. They're kind of like overwhelmed, and then our Reyna hits some shots and we just win the round. Like the fact that this situation turns out this way comes from the result of getting a kill that probably matters a lot more than meets the eye. I want to play towards heaven this round. So this is one of like the first round where taking a duel like really clearly kind of points out how a round can completely shift, especially like as we'll see in a moment. Essentially, I went to heaven this round to like play around heaven, and the one round I choose not to play around heaven, or not to play on site, was a round that they decided to just rush into A site, which is pretty unfortunate. But at the same time, it happens, right? Sometimes it just isn't lucky. So I'm holding towards spawn right now because I know the enemies are kind of pushed into site. They could be kind of running through this. So this is one of the reasons why first kills matter so much in the game. Also is why duelists have such high impact, because first kills actually mean a lot more than just one kill. So as you see right here, I'm holding this angle. This Reyna is gonna actually swing me in a moment. He swings me and I lose this fight. This fight should have been my win, theoretically. I should have an advantage on this, but I kind of messed up my shot. I was expecting him, but at the same time, I was hesitating a little bit. He swings out, hits a nice shot, kills me. So he kills me right there, right? So we have to think about the two different situations right here. First of all, if I were to kill him, that means it would be a 5v4 in our favor, which means that first kill means that I'm putting us in a man advantage. But when he kills me, now we're in a 4v5, which is to say that we're in a man disadvantage. So this first kill right here shifts the game by a lot and shifts the round state by a lot, because it's either a man advantage situation or a man disadvantage situation. And that's usually why first kills are such an important metric for how you're performing, you know, usually as like a duelist or even as any other like role. It's just the ability to take that first pick is oftentimes much more impactful than getting like, you know, a kill in the middle of the round after like a bunch of people already died when you're just trading off of a teammate, right? Realistically speaking, I should have someone to trade me out right here, but obviously like people are still rotating. I'm trying to prevent them from taking deeper space, and in the process of trying to prevent them from taking deeper space, they choose to like run me down, and Reyna makes a hero play, gets his kill, and kind of just gives her team a very, very good chance at just winning the round straight up.
Oh, you should have died there. One hell.
And as you can see at the end, we end up losing the round. And even though it was technically kind of close, like if you think about how like that first kill is worth in terms of kills, that first kill was worth 2 kills. So if we won that fight, like technically maybe this round would have actually ended up leaning in our favor and we end up winning the round by like a 1v1 or something. So it's not like something that you can say for sure, but it definitely has a sort of impact on how that round turned out, and could very well have been the round decider at the end. Not to say that that's the only possibility, but it could have had a high impact on whether this round resulted in our win or a loss. So now we're going to head to the attacker side, because the attacker side is where I feel like this kind of principle of like taking good fights and like figuring out how much impact your fights are worth really kind of shows itself in this game, because sometimes good aim really does bail you out, and sometimes good aim gets you a lot more than you might originally think. Okay, so I'm working up towards ramp right here because we're taking a lot of A main control and we're trying to go for A site. But generally speaking, I'm not like a big proponent of kind of just running into A main and just like going balls to the wall and trying to go for it. Especially like with the pace that we were going, we're kind of going slow. So I go towards heaven side and top ramp so that I can kind of hold for a cross if these guys do entry in, which they are kind of doing right now. It's better for me to kind of have a good idea of like how I can support them from the sidelines, whereas like I just want to remove any like rotators, or at least be like a first contact in some other sense. So the Raze kind of like satchels in trying to get into that spot, and I end up spamming the smoke and killing him, which is kind of lucky. But at the same time, it is something to consider, where like maybe the fact that like I do kill him right here can actually shift the round quite a bit. I don't think it actually matters in the end, because even though I got a pretty like cool kill, like our teammates already had such strong space that like maybe me getting that kill wouldn't have really changed things too much. Yet at the same time, if I lost that fight, right, and like somehow this Raze killed me, then it would be a 3v3. This round might be much more losable. But like at the end of the day, you know, even if I got that kill, it might not have made the impact that like it might seem like it's supposed to make. Oh, also right here, I hit a pretty nice shot. Check this out. Bam. All right, let's go on. So basically in this situation, my teammates have worked up mid and they've gotten a pick, but then they got traded back by a breach with a judge because judges are OP. And I'm basically taking this time as like, if my teammates are already working mid and like kind of speeding up their play, then this is in my best interest right now to get as much impact as possible by taking a fight that could win us a round. So the reason why lurking is also extremely strong is that me taking this pressure right here, if you think about it, if I die in this position taking a fight with someone, the round state doesn't change too much because my teammates are still pushing through another area of the map and like taking control there. But if I do win a fight right here while they're taking control elsewhere, they're first of all spreading the defenders thin because they're putting a lot of pressure on part of the map, and then I'm trying to pick off this one person who's holding against the possibility of someone like me lurking through. If I get this kill, there's a lot to be gained because I take control of a lot of site. So I get the kill on this guy and I kill him immediately, and I'm like running up and like, okay, I need to like take some more space. Unfortunately, Breach with the judge comes running at me and I somehow don't hit him more than one time. I think he was hit 80, so all I had to do was aim for the body. I suck, but still, not only does me killing that killjoy put a lot of pressure on the A site because I'm opening up a huge part of the map by just taking out their sole defender, I'm also causing the Breach to rotate over. And although it was probably like likely that he was going to rotate over anyways, if we consider me getting this kill, my teammates would immediately be going through ropes, coming into A site, trying to like take site with me because we basically cleared out everything on A site with those 2 fights. Unfortunately, I suck, right? And I didn't kill that Breach, but that kill was probably a pretty like easy kill that could have won us a whole round. So the impact of me missing that is pretty high. And as you can see, like later into the round, we end up losing because the Reyna also hit some pretty nice shots. But like basically me killing that Breach could have won us that round very freely. It'd be a 4v2 and we just be able to secure that because the other 2 are still on B site or around that area most likely. So, you know, that's something to keep in mind. So this is like the next round right after. I get my op and like basically this Raze makes a pretty big mistake, right? She jiggles out and I'm instantly peeked out. Her plan was probably waiting for the Breach stun and then throwing a nade off of that Breach stun, but the problem in this case was that like she kind of like jumped the gun a little bit, get out, and then I got a free pick. So this free pick right here, while it doesn't make a huge impact in the moment, it definitely creates a lot of like free space for us. We become a lot more capable of kind of pushing through because we know that this Breach util that's used doesn't have immediate threat behind it. At the same time, we're still like aware of the possibility that like there's more defenders fighting against us, which in this case, right, the killjoy kills our Reyna pretty handily, but it gives us a lot of space to kind of work with. And I wouldn't say it was like the highest impact of kills, but that kill itself like was definitely a big plus in us like being able to kind of speed up and like take a lot more space. So later into this round right here, we're in a situation now where we're trying to fight for heaven control and someone actually flanks through our spawn, I believe, because I'm trolling and I didn't put my trip down. But as you'll see, I swing out right after the eye because I need to make sure we have A main control and I'm trying my hardest to kind of take that control back after having lost it. The Reyna probably should have played to like not lose that control, and then I swing out and I kill this killjoy. So me killing this killjoy was a pretty important fight, obviously, because if I do die here, it's a 1v3, we're completely screwed. But also the other thing is that me killing this killjoy frees up a lot of space on A main. By freeing up all that space on A main, you probably didn't notice this and I probably wouldn't be able to point it out to you like throughout this round, but that duel right there changes a lot of how this round plays out. Me winning that duel is the condition required for my Raze to be able to flank and actually get one of the kills without being too obvious. In some sense, me getting that kill creates the pressure needed and also relieves the pressure from myself so that I can play it slow without seeming like I'm playing too slow and waiting for something, and at the same time also evening up the odds. Now we're skipping to 10-10, and this round basically we're taking A main control again because A main seems to be a pretty weak point for them. It seems like we've been taking it pretty consistently. They're kind of scared of our pressure and they're giving us a lot of space. I'm trying to hit this killjoy jump spotting. Obviously that's not working out the best. Generally not worth it. Getting a lot of minus 150s every time I try to take a shot. So I decide, okay, I'm not going for that anymore. I'm going to go to top ramp and help my teammate, right? If they get one pick on heaven, I pick up a Bucky that my teammate left behind. But basically in this situation, we have nothing we're really doing. And because we have nothing we're really doing and they're going to continually kind of like encroach on us if we give them too much time to like coordinate, I decide, okay, it's probably time for me to just push down and just take some space, because if we don't take that space and we don't make something happen, there's a good chance we're going to lose. Our Reyna also has the same idea. He pushes in, right? Gets a lot of space, gets that fight. Suddenly we figure out there's a guy behind screens. And this guy's trying to like dodge me, but this is where the Bucky comes in handy. I run at him, hit him with that like solid pump in the face, wait for the Omen ults, hear that he's canceling, then I commit to it again, right? Basically, if I did not kill that Breach right there, we instantly lose a round. So it's good that we kill that guy. It wasn't a hard kill nonetheless, so like it's not like it's some like crazy thing that I killed this guy. So at this point, I'm just staring at this Vandal, staring it down and being like, I really want to pick up this Vandal as soon as I possibly can, and if it's even safe, right? So I'm like trying to like consider in my mind, like, is it safe enough for me to go try this? Is it safe enough for me to go try this? I decide, you know what? I have 2 bullets in my chamber D. I'm not going to do anything unless I get this gun. This is also like the moment that he swings out. My Reyna is in a good position to fight him and fight the 2 guys running out. So he kills one and I swing out off of that timing, right? In order to fight the second person, potentially trading him out. But our Reyna hits both shots. I mean, I would have killed him anyways. So that's like kind of like a round where it kind of resolves out in a, like a nice way off of the back of some nice shots and also a very convenient Bucky pickup that ends up turning out to be a very important gun to win the fight. So this is the round right after, and this is actually one of the rounds where I do want to point out the value of having good aim. because we start off the round, Breach once again with the judge like a menace, takes out my raise as he's satcheling across the sky because that gun is just very normal. And essentially we're trying to like work through the space now because, well, they have the space now after they killed our raise to kind of like not have to worry about top ramp. So they're throwing stuff at us, preventing us from really going forward. We work through. This Reyna flanks us and actually kills our Astra, but we kill him back. And in this moment, right, basically our goal is that we have to find a way to get some picks. We need to figure out some sort of fights that we can take that we can potentially even up the odds and win us the round as a result. So we swing through, we take the fight. We don't really see anything specifically right here. So we work up ramp right here, and after working up ramp, we kind of create this like situation where we actually have a 3v3 now. The Breach doesn't trade back the sky, so we're kind of evened up. This is kind of the cue for us to say like, okay, now we actually have a bit more of a willingness to kind of move away. We can like go play elsewhere if we want to. We don't have to actually stay here anymore because they don't have as much control over the map as we might think they do now. And also it's harder for them to feel comfortable holding against us and like play multiple sites because their defenders are also being spread thin now because now they're not in a man advantage. So we kind of like slow down, we take a look and say, okay, there's no one else peeking us, they don't have information, let's try to work back through sewers and mid and like see how things go, right? And right here is where like we realize, oh shoot, we have 15 seconds left, we gotta start speeding up. So we stop walking, we're running onto site. At this point right here, right, I'm being hyper vigilant about where any enemies could be because in my mind right now, if I were to die at any point right here, we lose this round because I have the spike. I need to get this plant down, which means I need to dedicate 4 seconds to actually planting the spike. So I'm falling off right here. I actually barely see Omen's head slightly point out, and I know that there's 10 seconds left. This fight right here is going to determine the results of this round because if I die right here, spike is not getting planted. It doesn't matter if we end up trading him. Getting that spike and then going for the plant, first of all, is probably going to put us in a bad spot. And also, I don't think my Reyna is close enough to me so that he would be able to trade and also kill him and pick up the spike and then plant right after without maybe barely cutting the time. But essentially, I see his head, I swing out and kill him. The fact that I do kill him right there gives me the opportunity to run to default. I can plant the spike in a safe position, and now we're actually able to kind of win the round because of it, right? If I didn't win that fight against Omen, or like the Omen like made it hard for me, or like the Breach stun hit me because I took too long to kill that Omen, there's a chance that this round could play out very differently as a result. That duel is a very high impact duel that changes whether this round is won or not, and those are like kind of the moments where it's like it's a fight that I can't afford to lose. Or like if you're someone who's trying to rank up and you're put in that situation and you're the Omen, if you get that kill on that one guy, you basically won your team the round. So that situation presents itself to you as a golden opportunity to win the round for your team without having to kill everyone. You just have to hit one really clean shot. Unfortunately, in this case, he didn't hit that clean shot. I hit the shot instead. So now we win the round. Right, so now we're on the final round right here. And this is also another round where once again, we end up winning this round. And I would say it's not necessarily because I hit my shots, but like you're gonna see why having good aim and hitting shots is a very important part of it. So we swing out right here, we're taking fights. There's a guy at elbow who's like holding one of those like pixel angles. He kills our raise and trades him back. I swing out and I basically kill him off of that tiny like pixel that I can see him there. And then I swing out ramp and instantly kill the raise as well. Me killing both of these opened up the site completely. We are now basically, you know, chilling. And now our Reyna pushes through, takes his fights, and then, you know, we win the game. So those two fights right there, right? Like those aren't necessarily easy, good fights, but those are fights that like are typical fights that if you win, the round swings in a pretty nice way. But the chance of me killing that Killjoy isn't very high. And honestly, like that Killjoy probably should have been able to maybe escape and play the round after. And if he's in backside, it's really scary for us to get into sight at that point then, because there's whole Killjoy utility. You have to fight these different guys. This raise is going to potentially be causing us a lot of pain. If he doesn't take that fight ramp, or he wins the fight against me at ramp, we have a completely different round situation. Because I kill this Killjoy and then I swing out and I also win the duel against the raise, the round is basically over and it's GG at that point, right? Understanding the value of taking these duels and like winning these duels is just as important as having the ability to win these duels in the first place. Sometimes some fights that seem very normal can have very, very high impact on the game, and that's like something that you want to always be aware of when you play in any situation pretty much.